Hi everyone, welcome back to another installment of the Service Advisor 101 support videos. So where are we? We are on element 2, which is reverse engineer. We're on to the third snippet of this, and it says high performing service advisors know and use their customer's favorite word. Now if you are following along at home, that will put us on page 8. So let's bring up page 8 nice and quick. It's on here. And that would show us high performing service advisors know and use their customer's favorite word. Okay, let's get into it. Favorite word. How could we know this? Believe it or not, everyone has a favorite word. A customer's favorite word is their own name. High performers get the customer's name first, early in the interaction, and then use it often. Most service advisors will initially ask for the customer's last name or their surname, as this is what they are trained to do. This is crazy. Insanity is in fact what I've written here. And let me tell you why. Can I assume that at some stage in our lives, we have all been in a relationship? This relationship is initially formed by a first impression. Refer back to Be Driven, which needs to be a good one, and then onto a formal or an informal introduction. I can guarantee that it didn't go like this. And these lines do my head in. They grind my gears. And many service advisors will ask this. They'll say, "What's your last name, please?" This is so impersonal. It's almost like, take a number. So why, as service advisors, are we conditioned to ask for the last name first? It's crazy. And what's a better alternative? Please don't say get the registration number, because it's not. Do not ask for a registration number or a last name as the first thing you ask for as a service advisor. Now, some of you are going, but this is the way I've been trained. This is the way I've always done it. And I'm going to say to you, stop. It's nonsense. There is no way that you asked anybody that you formed a relationship for their surname or their registration number as the first thing you asked for. You didn't. You just didn't. So you get their first name by asking for it. And how we ask for it is simple, but apparently not easy for some. So here's a simple approach that I use with customers, and it works really well. And for me, and again, just to clarify as well, there's only one appropriate greeting for the morning and one appropriate greeting for the afternoon. And it's this: good morning or good afternoon. It's not, as we say in Australia, "G'day, mate," or "Hey, how are ya?" or "Hey, gone," or "Hey, how's it going?" or "Yo," or any of these nonsense phrases that I hear across the planet. It's good morning or good afternoon. They're the only appropriate terminologies. Okay, now you might be giggling away at this because you do a different one, but I can assure you, your customers are forming a first impression based on how you interact with them. So here is a simple approach I use with customers, and it works really, really well. It's good morning, how can I help? Or good afternoon, how can I help? So they will tell you how you can help them, or the help that they need. And if it's service related, reply, "Perfect, I can definitely help you with that. My name's Kieran. What's your name?" And you know what they'll say? They will respond with your first name, or with their first name rather. The law of reciprocation, or the law of reciprocity, says that if you give, they will give in return. And you can do this in face-to-face and on the phone. Stop, S-T-O-P, asking for the last name first. And stop asking for the registration plate or the license plate as the first thing you're asking for. Stop. Yes, this information gets the repair order quickly, but investing 4 seconds to get their first name begins to turn the experience from a transaction into a relationship. Now, I have translated this book into some Asian countries, and I need to probably put a bit of a caveat or an asterisk on this. Some countries and some cultures, you won't use a customer's first name. You just won't. Again, I won't go into it. You will know what's appropriate in your culture. But I do realize that in Australia, the UK, the US, Canada, Ireland, in most countries that I work in, connecting on an emotional level with a customer's first name is the gateway to rapport. It's the gateway to connecting with them on an emotional level. To those listening or to those viewing in a country where the first name is not used and it's a different approach, do what your manager tells you to do in regards to how to interact with customers. But remember, all the other tips and strategies that we've covered so far in the book will compound and be super useful to you. But I ask you with a large asterisk just to be careful in those particular markets, how you interact with customers. So getting a customer's first name is absolutely critical. Give to get. My name's Kieran, what's your name? And they will tell you their first name because you're given your first name. Stop asking for, hey, what's the rego? Hey, what's your registration plate? Hey, what's your license plate? Hey, what's your surname? As one of the first things you ask for. It's absolutely insane. Now, I'm not saying to not ask for it, but I'm not asking you to check first. Do not say, what's the rego, what's the surname is the first thing. But what you would do is you could say, my name's Kieran, what was your name? John, great to meet you, John. John, can I start with your, exactly, registration plate or surname? Those two questions after you've gotten their first name. Because in many ways, and you've all seen this, I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here, wouldn't be like me. But customer walks in and reception greets them. Hey, Jan. And the customer will say, good, thanks. And you dropping your car for a service, the receptionist will say. And the customer will say, yes. And the receptionist will say, yeah, what's the registration number? And the customer will say, I'm not sure. Okay, what's the surname? And they'll say, it's Stack, S-T-A-C-K. And the reception will go, that's not coming up for me. Are you booked in for today? And the customer's like, yeah, I'm definitely booked in for today. I've dropped the kids off to their grandma so I can be here at 8 o'clock for my appointment at 8 o'clock. And the receptionist goes, would it be under any other name? And the customer says, oh, it might be under my partner's name. Yeah, what's the partner's name? And he gives it. And that's not coming up for me. What's the phone number? And what's the address? That's not coming up for me. He definitely booked in for today. Yeah, I booked it in 4 weeks ago so I could get today with a loan car. Okay, what is the... You don't know the rego, it's not coming up for me with your surname, it's not coming up for me with your phone number, it's not coming up for me with this information, that information. What blood type are you? Okay, and what was your mother's maiden name? And what was your first pet's name? Ah, I found you, Kieran, great to see you. Yeah, it was booked in under a different spelling. I'm not sure how that happened. How's your morning been? And the customer replies, well, it was great until I met you. Because we have made that interaction friction-full as opposed to frictionless. We got to do better. We got to interact with customers in a relational manner, not a transactional manner. Connect first by giving your name to get theirs and help them want to come back and do business with you again and again and again. Like we've said in previous segments, that it's important to connect on an emotional level, smile, connect, embrace with them, become memorable. Again, it's not the customer's responsibility to remember you. It's your responsibility to make sure that they never forget you. And that's not just for service advisors. It's also for service managers and it's also for reception as well. Because a customer will avoid you next time because of the interaction you've had with them. For example, we've all had a bad coffee and you hope that you don't have to deal with the person who made you a bad coffee before and you get to interact with the person who made you a lovely coffee before. It's the same with food. It's the same with taxis. It's the same with receptions. It's the same with chefs. It's the same with everything. We all have a favorite. Become the favorite. Apply frictionless service to your customers and guests at your dealerships, guys. It's important. It's so important. And what you say and how you say it is critical. My name's Kieran. What's your name? John, great to meet you, John. John, can I start with your registration number? John, can I start with your surname, please? Perfect, I found it. John, how's your morning been? Excellent. Have a seat. Let's see how we go. Let's get you checked in and make sure everything's as it should be and go from there. That's it for this segment. I'll see you on the next one. Have a good day.